Are you thinking about getting into the hobby of CB radio? Because if you are, I suppose this might help you. Now, it goes without saying, by the way, everything that I'm going to say in this video is from my own personal experience over the past 14 or 15 years. And it's my own opinion. I have to say that because of people with no common sense these days. If you are getting into CB radio, and, you may be interested in getting just some stuff that might help you along the way, meters, coax, things like that. Sometimes I just go through the subscriber list, pick a random person and just send them some stuff, if it's stuff that's surplus to my requirements. At the moment, I've got 2 of these tripods, great big tripods, comes in a case like that. Big black tripod things, got extendable top and all this rubbish. I've got 2 of them. One of them I intend on keeping. This one I'm going to give away to a random subscriber. So all you got to be to potentially win that, I suppose, is just be subscribed to this channel and comment on videos and like the videos. And I'll just go through the list one day and there you go. There you are. But it's not just that. I mean, that's the thing at the moment I want to get out of the way. So that's the main thing. But I do it relatively frequently. If I've got some stuff, I've got some boxes. Like last week, I had 2 boxes of meters, coax or whatever. I literally just went through take the box up, went through the subscriber list, picked 2 random people. There's no method to it. Picked 2 random people that commented on some videos, replied to their comments, got their address, sent them some stuff. Simple as that. Now the question is, and a lot of people seem to get this, they get a bit overwhelmed and they don't really know what to do when they're getting into the hobby of CB radio, because they go on eBay and probably that place of marketing or whatever it is, and they see, they probably just type CB radio and all these different ones come up, and you think to yourself, what one should I get? Should you go for an older one, or should you just go straight to a CB shop such as Thunderpole and get a brand spanking new one? This is an old VR, well, it's a Voyage VR 9000. A very good radio. Not just CB, it will do 10 meters as well. Probably, I think, I can't remember if it does 12. Definitely does 10 though. Or should you go for a newer one? Just like this Superstar 9900. Also, not technically a CB radio. You see, you may be wondering, what do you mean, not a CB radio? Well, radios such as that one and that Voyage over there, and loads of other ones, they're intended to be ham radios. So they're intended to be on the ham band, which means you need a license for that kind of stuff. Very serious. People over there are very serious people. They don't tend to know how to take jokes, and they tend to have a very straight, non-existent sense of humour. Those radios can be opened up, which means they can be made to transmit and receive on CB frequencies, citizens band frequencies. So a lot of people do use them on CB. It is illegal to do so, but as long as you're using the right amount of power, or what's the harm? I'm not going to go into the reality of all that kind of stuff. You can work that out for yourselves, but that's what I mean. And should you go for a new one or an old one is the question. Well, in my opinion, there are loads of choices, and over the years I have had many old CB radios, and in fact I tend to favour the older ones. And at one point I was quite known for having a collection of old radios. Anybody who come across an old CB radio, by old I mean 1980s. 81 was when CB became legal in this country, where I am, in England, and at least FM. And that's the sort of era that I like to favour. A Uniden 200 or 100. I like the 200s though, they were good. The 400 was alright. 200s, I've got one somewhere. I'm keeping that because I use it at work. I like the older ones. Now the thing that you'll find is, and it's not always the case because obviously there's so many different types, they've all got their perks, pros and cons, etc, etc. But usually the older ones with the old technology have better ears. They hear or receive signals better than the new ones. Usually, in my experience, I've put old ones side by side up against new ones on the same antenna before and found that the older one can hear so much more and it's so much clearer, and also better audio from me going out to whoever I'm talking to than the new one. New ones are inherently quite deaf, but not always. Some of you are going to point out, I've got this brand new one and it seems to be really, really good at hearing, etc, etc. But this is just my experience that I'm talking to you about. You will tend to find, and I have got some new Thunderpole CB radios, but at this present moment in time they're all boxed up and packed away for various reasons, which will become apparent if you follow this channel. So if you want to subscribe, in a few months' time it'll all become apparent what's going on. But for now, all you need to know is they're all boxed up. So I can't show you a modern, actual, pure CB radio, but I can tell you all about them. There's loads of them. So let's use this one as an example, as a new one. It's mainly menu driven, so you'll find with new ones that there'll be loads of menus in there, so you have to press buttons and turn knobs and press buttons and turn knobs and do this to go through all the menus to find one of the 100,072.9 settings that it will have inside it. This one, this older one, and you'll have to forgive me, I've completely forgotten the year that the VI9000 came out. Calling upon radio geeks, refresh my memory and tell all the others please, what year did the VI9000 come out? I can't remember. I think it was 91, but I'm not sure. Anyway, you won't find any menus on here. That is a frequency display. I can't power it up, no means. That is a channel display. No menus, buttons for what you want, Roger beep, noise blanker, all that stuff. Everything is on knobs and buttons, clearly laid out to you, and you've got an analog signal meter. Clearly laid out, easy to do, press a button, you get what you want it to do. No menus. So that's why I prefer older stuff. You can buy new ones with buttons and limited settings and menus, but they're very, very few and far between. Or, well, it's like buying a car or anything else. If you're buying an older car, it could have issues that you might have to repair, mend. It could have parts which work fine when you buy it, but a little while down the line they go a bit dicky. So in CB radios you've got a lot of capacitors and, you know, all these different things that could go wrong, so you've got to bear that in mind. Are you able to have a problem? Do you have the mindset of going, alright, this is broken, I'm going to mend it? Or will you just get the ump and go, I've had enough? If you're one of those people that gets the ump and goes, I've had enough, you want to buy a brand new one, because then you get a warranty, obviously. So if it does break, it goes wrong within the warranty period, you just send it back and you get another one. But also new parts are less likely to go wrong, but they are all made in China nowadays. This is a Thunderpole TX, a handheld radio. You could get yourself a handheld CB. Now, a lot of mistakes that people often make is they go out and buy one of these. They go, I want to get into the hobby of CB radio. And they look at these up and they buy a handheld radio. Not necessarily a TX, but a handheld. Then they walk out in their garden or something and go, hello, anyone about? Can't hear anyone. That's rubbish. And they get the ump. Now, handheld ones, if you're getting into the hobby of CB, yeah, handheld, they won't go all that far for what you're expecting. You're probably expecting to turn it on and instantly talk to people. Not the case with handheld. And if you get an old handheld, it's definitely not going to be the case. Anybody on the 19? Hello? No one. because my signal's probably not going any further than the bottom of the road. I'm in a garage, for goodness sake. So, to summarise briefly, well, I'll try briefly, but I do find briefly quite difficult sometimes. It ends up being longly. Anyway, to summarise, in my opinion, if you're the type of person that doesn't mind a challenge, has patience, and you understand that if you buy an old CB radio, it's going to be old, it's going to have character, it may go wrong, and it may already have issues that you weren't aware of. You may have to mend it yourself, you may have to find a rig doctor to mend it for you. Or it may just be a complete flop and you just wasted 20 quid and you have to go and buy another one. If you've got all that, then buy an old one, because you won't be disappointed. Older CB radios are brilliant. And there are different makes and models and all this stuff. And people are going to say to you, don't get a Maxcom 4E because they're deaf. Don't get a Uniden 100 because it's deaf. Don't get a Uniden 200 because they blow up. Or anything like that. It's the same with everything. You know, vacuum cleaners have good ones and bad ones and ups and downs. You know, cars, bicycles, blenders, anything has... There's good ones and there's not so good ones. Everybody has their own opinions. And maybe if you just want a brand new one, go to Thunderpole, Knights as well, but Thunderpole is the main place to go. They make their own radio. They don't make them. They sell their own radios. They make them in China. They sell their own radios. Brand spanking new. You get a warranty. You can send it back if it's broken. You get probably 30 days or whatever. But it might be slightly deafer than an older one. But if you're impatient, that's what you want. Tried to give it a little bit. That was my hopefully that was my version of trying to help someone if you're getting into CB radio. That's my way of trying to steer you in the right direction. You can make your own decision on what type of person you are to what one you buy. If you want an in-depth video on which actual brand and which actual model you should buy, I will do that. That will be coming up. I'll get all the Thunderpole ones out and go through all the different Thunderpole models that you should buy, all the ones I've got, and talk about some ones I haven't got as well. Also, there will be an antenna video for beginners. As a beginner in CB radio, what antenna should you put up? Should you put up a home base? Should you get a wire? Should you get a vertical? Should you get a pole, a silver rod? Whatever. I'll go through it all. Coax, plugs, everything. For beginners. I'm going to aim all this series at beginners of CB radio. Thanks for watching, you lot. If there's anything that you think I've missed, put it in the comments, because not only will I be able to see it and think, oh yeah, I missed that, too late now, but people will be able to read it that are probably thinking these questions. They'll read the comments thinking that knobhead in that video there didn't mention this. Oh look, someone's put it in the comments. They've answered my question. So if you've got any more that you can add to what I've said, you think I've missed something out, put it in the comments. If you've got any questions regarding CB radio, if you're a beginner, or maybe you're not a beginner, perhaps you're coming back into radio after several years being away, and it's all changed, and you're thinking to yourself, whoa man, this is all different. Any questions, put in the comments, and I'll comment and help you, but also everyone else reading, if they know the answer to your question, they'll be able to help you as well. I'll catch you on the next one. Stick around. Think about subscribing, because it does help me and it's free for you. Cheerio, you lot. All the best.